Hi, everybody, and welcome again. This is Kathy from Columbus, Guatemala Travel. And thanks to them is that we have a second podcast for you. And this is our topic today is benefits of traveling. This is your podcast, and remember, this is Guatemala Travel Podcast. So let me just introduce you, Natalie Suarez, which is our invited person today. This is a whole personality, a whole character. She is a psychologist with a master. And please, Natalie, just extend it. Let me know. Present yourself. Better say.
Hello, everybody. My name is Natalie Suarez, and I'm from Guatemala as well. And I'm a clinical psychologist. I have a master's in dance movement therapy, and I also work with sound and vibration. And so this is what I do.
Fabulous. Look at you. Thank you so much for giving us the time. And I really appreciate that you are, helping us to get into this so fabulous topic. There's little information around that really extends on the benefits that you have when traveling. So it's truly important to us that people recognize this, the mental health behind it. So I just want to start or depart from the meaning of mental health. So please tell us, how do psychologists define mental health?
Okay, so we need to start knowing that mental health is a state of mental well-being that help us to cope with everything in life, how we deal with friends, how we deal with work, how we deal with our community. When we are good within ourselves, then we can be good with other people, right? Or other places and situations. So yeah, it can be defined as a state of being that includes biological, psychological, or social factors that contribute for us to be well centered.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So, so far, based on your experience, uh, could you please tell us what's the principal fact or cause that can affect mental health?
Okay, so there is little information about mental health. We are so used to being taking care of our digestive health, of our teeth health. But what about our mental health, right? Like sometimes it seems like it is not important, but it is really important because the absence of mental health, it can take us to depression or anxiety. And I'm only mentioning two. There are many ways, many different signs that we know we are not balanced. And so this is why it's so important to take care of our mental health. It's like brushing our teeth every day.
Every day, you're right. I think that in the occupancy of a daily activity, when you're busy and you get into your job, your family, things that you do every day, you just lose yourself, right? Like the fact that you are an like an individual, that you have an individual process as well into all your daily life activities. So I really appreciate that you are mentioning that we need to take care about our mental health as brushing our teeth.
Yes.
So I just want to get into the chemical brain process
Mhm.
when you just mentioned anxiety and depression. So, what will be like the physical expression of these negative effects of not having like a mental healthy state?
So one is that very easy for us to see. It's stress. Like if our shoulders are um, tense, of our neck is tense, for example, of if we have a tummy ache all the time, of if we have a migraine or a headache, these are all signs of stress, and it's also linked to a higher risk of strokes and heart attacks, and also the way that we eat our food. Like if we are craving more sweets, for example, is another sign of our anxiety. So everything around us is telling us about our mental health. So these are some of the let's say physical signs of our mental health. For example, when
Wow.
we're happier, maybe we don't need to eat as many candy than when we're not. We're not craving that from the outside because we already feel good within inside. Hmm.
Claro, and it's so interesting. I didn't know, that could be assigned getting sweets and candies or things like that. So it's really interesting. Generally, as you are mentioning, sometimes during your activity, I just, it just ring the bell when people mentions, oh, I need like a Coke to wake up, right? To start over, to stand and resist the day, things like that. So it's
Yes.
just, interesting that it matches with reality. I've seen it. So
Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure.
let's just then, now that we are, discussing about things that we bring from the exterior that we are missing in the interior, what have you seen so far based on your experience that people mostly do to get their balance?
Okay, so there is like the good way and the bad way, right? But we all want to feel complete. We all want to feel good. So you might run an exercise to higher your dopamine levels, or you might as well just drink a lot of cokes, or have a huge pizza because it gives you the same hype, so yeah, so you can go either way. You can also, for example, start therapy, or you can go partying. Whatever is good for you, whatever you feel that it fulfills you the most. So I've seen, I think I've seen people that when they're in a bad place, they decide they need, for example, to go out and go traveling and see another culture and do something else. And I've seen people that just like been watching Netflix for a whole week. So there is one way or another to affront life.
Correct. And that's totally true. Based on my personal point of view, uh, everybody is different. Every mentality, every like body is different. So some people may adapt things in a better way or a healthy way, or they can recognize these symptoms, as you just mentioned, that
Mhm.
I just didn't pay attention, like sweets coming
Mhm.
from the exterior, right? So I really appreciate that you are giving us like the general panoramic view. And now, because our main reason of you to be here with us is we want to focus on what's the benefit behind traveling, right? So when you are talking about the healthy way to recover your balance, would you say that traveling it's one of the best options?
I would say it's a great option to do it. As you said, there are many personalities, but I think traveling is one of them, one of the all options that we have that is good for everybody. For example, because there are many different ways to travel, right? You can go to the exterior, you can maybe go caving. There are many ways to travel, but I would say that traveling is so good for us because we exercise, we have lots of vitamin D because most of traveling happens during sunlight, right? So we're outside. It's a change of scenery, so we are meeting new people, we are in a different place, we're talking maybe another language. Our brain is working differently. It's creating new neuronal paths. We're thinking new different things that we didn't even knew they existed. So yes, of course, we are learning. We are mm, getting smarter. We're doing different things. We're also being more social, and that's great for us. Human beings are social beings, so we need to be outside, we need to talk with other people, and when we're traveling we have to, even if you don't like it that much, you have to talk to people. And we are stepping out of our comfort zone, so we're not staying where we know everybody, going to the same store, talking with the same people, but we're really getting to know ourselves in a different place. And of course there is the afterglow when you travel and you come back home and you feel like filled with these experiences and the food and the stories and things that happened. So of course there is the afterglow of traveling that is excellent. It's good for everybody, even for the people that don't travel, but your friends, or for example your partner couldn't go, but you come back home with such good energy that it surrounds everybody around you. So yeah, for sure, traveling is good for you and the people around you.
Thank you. I agree. I love being involved into the traveling, process experience, and also traveling. Sometimes people forget that we, the people that build up itineraries, help to schedule, make sure of the guides and stuff.
Mhm.
We also get the chance to travel, and I think that expanding your knowledge about civilizations, humanity, different societies gives you also a chance to release that stress that you are closed or stuck in, or suddenly you face yourself like focusing on the negative things around because you are in part of a society. So I totally agree with you. In this case, would you be so kind to please tell us, do you know or can you mention studies that proves the benefits of travel?
Yeah, there are many studies that they show the benefits of travel, and I think we just need to stop a little bit and think about ourselves and our experience. And when we travel, we feel great, don't we? So of course there are scientific studies, but just like thinking in our experience, we know there is a huge difference when we travel and when we are doing the same routine over and over again. There is a study that it has been recently released in Springer, and it investigated the link between happiness and travel. And they found that the happiness of travel doesn't only exist while traveling, but before traveling. Because you start anticipating and you start planning and you start thinking where you want to go. And instead of scrolling Instagram for hours, you're looking for places you want to eat and museums you want to visit. So, yes, of course, even before traveling, if it's months or weeks that you're booking your travel in advance, your brain is already releasing all the dopamine and endorphins um, of happiness that we have while traveling, but before traveling as well. So yeah, this study that linked happiness and travel, it showed that people that travel have those benefits weeks in advance. So that's awesome. And there's also another study that it's called Savoring the Past for Neuron, and they studied that recalling memories, it triggers the re-experience. So for example, that you had a travel 5 years ago, and then you see the pictures, or you show the pictures to people you like, or you tell the stories, then again you're maintaining the same um, your hormone levels, they go back to where you were. You are reliving the moment. So yes, of course, your general well-being is great, even weeks or years after you travel.
That's so impressive. That's so impressive. Because it's common to hear people that says, a memory will last forever, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
people says that, well, things you will regret things you didn't do.
Yes.
Those type of things that are so common to hear from people around, and it's really like based on psychologists and chemical process in our human bodies. So I really appreciate that. And you just mentioned something very, very important. We from this, side of the like the backside or the desk, like the behind the desk, we get people that they start planning 1 year in advance, even a year and a half. They see every detail. They see locations, highlights. They see activities, how to fit everything in order to not make the process stressful or rush. So it's truly relaxing trip, let's say, so they can combine experiences, learning, but also relaxing. And I think that part of the traveling experience is giving you the opportunity to also relax, right? So I just wanted to also ask you, have you seen, like, for example, how depression it's worked or how is affected after traveling?
Okay, so there's one thing that it's a fact, and it's post vacational depression, and it's real. It happens to all of us when we come back from a trip. Of course, we're feeling like we missed something, or something that we worked really hard for. It happened already, right? So we're back home in our routine. We need to do things again. So positive effects of a holiday, they don't last very long. So what we need to do is we need to hold on to those very good experiences that we had. For example, as I told you before, like looking at the pictures, telling stories, to relive those experiences. And very important, not to it's not important if we have like a once a year a trip. It will be better if we have many trips along the year. This way we don't have to wait for something to happen and then just like feel, oh well, it happened, like feel sad again or bored. If we continue to have these experiences, then we won't feel depressed. That post vacational depression, that it exists and it's a thing. But with clinical depression or clinical anxiety, yes, it's amazing to have a trip because it changes your mindset. Depression happens because we are kind of stuck in the same position, in the same energy, in the same place. But if we go outside of what we know, we might see other people, other experiences, um, meet another country, probably hike a volcano, for example. Like see yourself doing things you didn't knew you could. So of course, this is a boost for self-esteem and confidence. So even if you come back from a trip and you have to confront life again, you have all these experiences in your backpack that you can always recall, and you can always go back to them and feel like, oh wow, yes, I hiked a volcano. I can do another Monday at work. So, so of course, these things exist, but it's how we handle them. That's the difference.
Agree. It's incredible. Just having this line of a professional point of view and comparing it to real life. It's just amazing because it's the way it is. You are just simply saying it the way it is. So we really appreciate your honesty, your transparency, and your professional experience come to this interview and share this time with us. I want to also ask you. Um, you just mentioned that it's better to have like more trips during the year instead of just focusing in one, and so I really appreciate that highlight, because there's a lot around the travel industry of people that, of course, you have to fit your job time, your schedule, your life, and everything. But this, and it's pretty important, this kind of traveling stuff, it's not simply going to another country, but also getting to the national park that is nearby, getting exposed to nature, or sharing simply a cup of tea with somebody that you can get a conversation out of the context that you daily live. So I really like the idea of you bringing that to attention. And I just want to give you the time for us to say, I just heard we were just talking about your master. So I want to get into that a little bit more about you now.
Yes, of course. So what I do is that I work with the body, with movement. We we were dancers before we could talk. We communicate with body language. And so, for example, how would you say to your mom, you don't want to eat anymore? Like you would shake your head, or that you want to be hold on, like you will, stretch your arms. So we communicate with movement, with our gestures, and we still do that, but we are kind of ignoring that part of our life. And it's very important for us to just, first of all, to focus on ourselves. Like, how am I feeling today? Are my shoulders, like going down? Am I feeling like a little bit sad? Maybe like I have a big heavy backpack on me, or am I feeling like light? Am I feeling relaxed? Is my neck tense? Do kind of a check-in of our body every day. That can tell you a lot of what's going on in your mental health or your emotional health as well. Working with movement, working with dance. I'm a dancer as well, so I do believe in the positive effects of dancing and, of course, traveling and moving around. I love to travel as well, so because it gets my body moving. We're now we have sedentary lives, but our bodies are not supposed to be sitting on a chair for 8 hours long. Kids don't do
Gracias.
it.
Thank you for mentioning it.
Yes, kids don't do it. We need to see kids. We need to analyze what they do. They're moving, they're jumping, they're climbing, because that's what our bodies are meant to be doing. We should be doing the same. Being active. It's not like going to the gym and doing 1 hour of a lot of heavy lifting, but maybe you can do, walk around, have 30 minutes of dance, have different things to be connected with your body. It's not about being fit, but being good within yourself. So this is what I do with movement. And then with sound, I work with healing sounds. Sound is the medicine of the future. Sound works in um, really small waves that we can't see, but it goes inside our bodies and it harmonizes cells. Everything in our body is made of water, so it shakes the water of our cells, and it helps to release everything that we don't need, all the toxins, everything that we don't need. So I complement movement and sound, and this is what I do.
Wow, that's so great.
Thank
That's
you.
honestly, that's perfect. You get there the combination to, you know, get yourself happy. And that's, I think, the goal for every human, to be plenty, right? Like happy, completely happy. So you just say harmony. I love that word, because I get to move a lot. I have a lot of face expressions, but people around, they get relaxed when you kind of start moving. They also feel free to also express themselves. So I think you are light for the world. Thank
Oh,
you
thank
for
you.
that.
You too.
Thanks. And how do you work? Where are you right now?
Right now I'm in Barcelona, and I think I'm gonna stay here for a few more months, and then I'm going to Guatemala, and I think I'm gonna start there a project. Don't know exactly where, but I might be working with sound and movement as well. So I hope we see each other soon.
Yes. You know where to come.
Yes.
Thank you. Can people contact you through, I don't know, Instagram, Facebook? Where
Yeah,
can they get a
sure.
little bit more information?
Okay, so they can visit our webpage that I have a project with my husband, who is also a sound therapist, and so we work together. And our webpage is holisticbloom.com, holistic/bloom, and that's where they can contact us. And also in Instagram at _Natalie_Suarez, and you can reach me there.
Great. So everybody, you know where to find her. We will be sharing her website and also her Instagram, and reach out her. This is something that we see every day, more and more. People that get stressed, stuck, people that get 1 week trip and they kind of don't enjoy it in full because they are going through a different process that they probably didn't realize that they have a mental process that they need to go over. So I think it's important to focus on yourself so you can really share to the world and get from the world what you really want, and just get, the best out of yourself, the best version of yourself. So thank you so much. And Natalie, or Nat, as we love to call you, This will be it. Please share your thoughts. If you have any other topic that you want to go over, just share it. You know that you have our website, you have our WhatsApp that it's 24/7. So here we are for you. Thank you so much and stay tuned.
Thank you.
Bye, Matt.